Greetings and salutations, game fans. Firecracker37 here. Welcome to episode 3 of Bob's Plus Angels Oh My. Between episodes, I got those pesky inserters set up to keep our science factory working to plow through this early game research just as quick as possible. But taking a look at our factory here, it's a total mess. It's not going to sustain us for long. So today's goal is a little bit of despaghettification of our factory. That's right, it's time to set up some central processing and start preparing to get our materials put onto a main bus. So let's get started, shall we? Now, before we begin, I know I am going to just need a boatload of transport belt. So I want to set up a little factory just off of this guy right here, and his whole job is going to be to make us transport belt. So we'll put one guy there. We'll leave 3 spaces in between them. Now this factory here will actually make the transport belt. This factory will make us some iron gear wheels. We need 2 storage boxes. So there and there. We need 1 inserter to 2 inserters. I'm going to put gear wheels there, and then the final transport belts there. And for now, I'm going to limit it to, there's 100, 200, 300, 400, yeah, 500. So 1 row. Now, all we need is a little bit of power. And of course, I have no electric poles. And of course, I have no wood to make electric poles. So what we're going to have to do here soon is set up a tree farm so that we can get wood as a renewable resource. Bob's Mods, of course, requires a lot of woods. You need it for a lot of wood. You need it for your regular electronic circuits and the blue ones from Bob's Mods. The first upgraded electronic circuit needs wood. So one of the first things we're going to do after we're ready to process all of our ores is set up a tree farm. Maybe we'll get to that this episode, but more than likely it's going to be next episode. So alright, there we can make us some more electric poles. And we'll come back up here to this ugly spaghetti factory and get them plopped down. There we go. Oh, and of course, well, I guess we'll just do it that way. Oh, and this iron gear wheels, we just want 2 stacks at most. So this way, science has priority, belts have second priority, and gear wheels are last. So there we go. Now, I'm going to give it just a few minutes to get some belt going for us, because we are going to need a whole bunch of it. So let's come up here, and I'll talk kind of about what I want to do. So we have 4 different types of ore that are all going to need processed in different ways. So one of the things we're going to do is put 4 sets of ore sorting up here, or ore crushing, that's going to go off. And all the stone will also get pulled off the line. And it'll go down, and there's going to be space left right about here for ore sorting. And at that point, we can get more materials from our crushed ore than what we're currently getting. And then over this way, we'll have a smelting operation that's set up to keep our metals going, just kind of a 3-step operation at this point. And I think that'll get us through the early game. If we need anything more than that, we'll probably be working on a separate factory. And I think I'm just going to explore around here for just a moment and see if there happens to be any coal nearby. It would be awesome if there was just another coal deposit over this way. I'm thinking about it, and if there isn't a coal deposit this way, then we're going to run the factory the other direction. Now, are these bad guys up here or oil? Okay, those are oils. not at all prepared to run into a biter base with 10 ammunition and a pistol. Unfortunately, before we can even get to the second military tech, we have to have green science going, and we need all 4 metals before we can do green science. So that's why we're going to do it this way. I'm not seeing any coal at all up this way, and we have the RSO mod installed, and what that does is it gives you every resource guaranteed in your starting area. And then the further resources are usually farther away, so that you have to actually explore. It makes it so trains are not just viable, but necessary, to be honest. Well, let's see, up this way. And if I don't see any yet, which I don't, we're just going to head home and assume that we don't have any coal. So we'll run our production line from east to the west so that we can belt some coal from our small deposit up here. And we're really going to have to get on exploring so that we can find some more. Like our sapphirite ore is not going to last us for very long at all. So here we are back at the factory. Let's see what we've got for transport belts. Not very many. As you can see, our iron production is just absolute garbage, which is why we're going to build the new factory, or the new processing center. So I'm going to get the things crafted up that I'm going to need to build it, and we'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. And I think I should have just about everything we need to get started here. So we're going to have 4 different ores, so we'll have 4 separate lines. They're all going to run east to west. We're going to input from the top. This is where the raw ore will come in. And then out the bottom we'll have the output. Now, right now, I can't balance the belt easily, so this will help with our throughput. So there we go. So this is where our raw materials will come out. Let's go ahead and throw power poles in as we go, to make sure everything stays within power pole limit. Alright, the next thing we're going to need are 2 factories on each side grabbing the stone bits. No matter what, I want to do my best to ensure that stone doesn't make it down anywhere past this in the processing line. So instead of having storage boxes for each set of stone, we're going to set up one single stone belt that's going to service all 4 ore processing facilities. And we'll probably run it up this way. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do with it yet. Let's see, can I craft one of those? Nope, a little short on iron and steel. So a warehouse is just like a great big box. We'll be showing those off pretty soon, I do imagine. We'll go like that. I'd rather have a bigger box to store this all in for now, to ensure that we don't run out of space. And I think I'm going to move this power pole to right there. And then we're going to let it come around this way. Like that. Since we don't have fast inserters yet, this just helps us ensure that our stone is getting picked up fast enough. Let's go a couple poles this way. And we'll connect it in down to our main power grid. There we go. Need one underground belt, and we have no iron with us. So for now, I'm just going to show this is where it'll go down to be smelted. So we're going to need 4 of these setups in order to process all 4 different ore types. Since I've shown you how we set up the first one, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of them off camera. So we'll be right back. And we're back. I ended up doing a little more than I had originally intended. I recorded another segment and I forgot to unmute my microphone, so there's no audio to go along with it. So I'll just show off what I've done here. It isn't too much. As you can see, I went ahead and built the other ore sorting or ore crushing facilities to get all 4 of our base metal types broken down. We'll run the output of those over this way, and I left a big long space here so that we have room to do the next step that we'll get to at some point here. Up this way, I have started our first furnace column. And if you've ever watched a Roomba, it should look fairly familiar to you. It's just 10 furnaces on each side with outputs going either way. We'll have coal coming in on this belt here. Our sapphirite ore for now coming in on this one. Eventually it'll be iron ore. And our coal should come up this way. I thought that I connected them, but perhaps, yep, I missed one belt. So there we go. I also set up some coal mining. As you can see here, we've got a big belt of coal running up with 6 of the regular electric mining drills. Should be more than we're going to need for the early game here. I also stopped our science production because I just needed a whole bunch of iron. I'm actually going to get a whole bunch into my inventory, probably a good couple stacks if I can. Which I don't think so. I think 1 stack's going to be maybe a little more than that. Just so I have them, because I've been running low on iron, and it's getting kind of irritating. So there we go. We've got a couple stacks of iron. We'll go ahead, and I'm going to let the transport belts keep getting made. We definitely need a fair bit of those. So up this way, we need a few more inserters. I'm going to get 20 long-handed and then 20 regular. That just completely destroyed. Oh, it's copper that I'm short on now. Well, before we go up there, let's grab some more copper so that we have some materials to keep building with if we need anything else. I'm pretty sure I have just about everything that we need except for the inserters, because I've been too busy trying to get the iron. Very, very soon, though, our iron supply will be more than we know what to do with. Alright, so let's grab our long-handed inserters here and we'll get these first. What did I do? A dozen furnaces, it looks like. There we go. That's probably going to be more than we need for the early game. And I left enough room here so that we can go up to 20 furnaces on each side, and then I just join the output right here. And if we need more than 20 furnaces, the belts aren't going to support the throughput, so we'll just have to add other columns onto it. So since we're struggling so bad for iron, I say right now we're going to go ahead and get our iron set up. Now, I kind of want to have like a little mini bus bringing all of our materials up. Oops. So oops. Yeah, there we go. So right here will be our rubitite. Right there will be our bobmonium. Our stereotype. And I'm going to run out of belts. That's alright, you get the gist. And then our sapphirite will go up that way as well. There we go, 120 belts. Not a bad start. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and just bring this sapphirite belt as far back down with us as is feasible. Let's see. How do we want to connect this up? I think we're going to run it this way. And then we'll come as far down as we have enough belt to allow. Nope, and I need just a couple underground belts here. And I think we're going to go ahead and redo the mining here so that we've got way more throughput coming out. I'm just going to go ahead and clear all of this stuff away. That should be fine. And what do we have for mining drills in our inventory here? We have 13. We want to make sure that the only thing we're mining up is the sapphirite. And I'm just going to go ahead and butt these guys right together. Okay. This one can go over one. One belt going that way. Belt going this way. Join them with the splitter. So now we just need a little bit of power over here. There we go. That should be enough iron ore to keep this belt here going for our red science while we're using it. And then we'll be bringing a whole bunch up this way. So I just want to come over here quick and cut these output belts. Or not output belts, but the input belts so that the sapphirite isn't going past where we can use it. So it looks like that should be a good spot. Oh no, how did we end up with some stone bits on here? That's not good. Let's come back and make sure that I have the inserter set up for this properly. We shouldn't have that happening. Oh, yeah, see, I forgot a power pole here. There we go. That ought to make sure that doesn't happen. And it looks like our income is still low enough that we're not going to have any problems. What about our power usage? Just shy of 2 megawatts, so we've still got a little bit of time before we need to upgrade our power system. Just making sure all of this stuff works PG-like. Alright, and this system here, because I want all the stone, eventually it's going to go into a warehouse, which is a ginormous storage box that can hold like hundreds of stacks of the items. So for now we'll just use this chest, and then I have it so that all the other stone factories output down to one belt, and I don't think they'll go too fast for that. If they do, there's some other ideas I have. I still have some room that I can move out the underground belts of the output from our crushing factories, so we can do that if necessary. So here we go. If we come over this way, we should see plenty of iron being produced and sent down these lines. I don't see any stone bits making their way to the end, which is awesome. And here we go. We've got just a little bit of iron smelted up. Sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get prepared for our copper at the very least, and maybe even the other 2 ores, and we'll be back, and it'll probably be about time to end the episode there. So, be right back. Alright, welcome back. So as you can see here, I went ahead and I did all 4 furnace columns. I figured I'd just as well get it out of the way while I'm sitting here doing it anyways. And I ran some belt up from the output lines on our crusher factories so they're each going where they need to be. So the only thing left to do is to get the minerals, the raw minerals, up to the crusher factories. So we're going to do that now. Oh, and we're out of transport belt, of course. Should have plenty of it in there by now, though. Almost 500. Awesome. Alright, now since I know that our stereotype ore is pretty close to the sapphirite ore, I'm just going to go ahead and follow this down for a bit. Jump that belt there, okay. And some of these guys are running out of coal, no big deal. We're just going to take our stereotype ore off of this. Oh wait, this is the already crushed stereotype ore. I don't want to do that. We want the raw stereotype from down here. And obviously we have nowhere near enough mining going on, but that's okay. We'll get it. We'll get it. Just come over this way. Jump under that. Ow, of course. You know what? I could just feel it. We're going to go one lower. This is the luckier place to run, I promise. And it really wasn't, but whatever. So we've got our stereotype ore ready to go up there. Now we just need to increase the production, which we can do quite easily. We have 3 more mining drills. So we'll get those guys running, and we're going to need more. So let's get those cooking up too. We'll just get 10 more. Oh, these guys here still need some power. There you go. Our sapphirite ore is backed up, so I have to imagine that 5 mining drills is more than one ore crusher factory can handle. I also, off-camera, upgraded that from a burner one. I forgot that it was still set up to be a burner. I'm going to snag a little bit of this coal here to keep these guys happy. Good enough. Not that it's that important, that copper's just backing up. But here we go, yeah, we could see a little bit of it getting past. Let's go ahead and snap down 2 more mining drills on this, sounds good. And that should be more than we need. Bobmonium is the next ore that we want to get sent over that way, and it's kind of inconveniently located. It's so hard to see because it blends right in, at least for me. It blends in for me. So here we go. Here is our Bobmonium ore. And I think we'll do a north-south setup for this. Just do 4 mining drills, and I'm going to want 4 for the other one, which is exactly how many I have, so cool. And we'll probably run it over that way. Let's just prepare our power a little bit here. We'll run some power over from the main factory. Could find some sometime here. There we go. So now we need to get our Bobmonium ore going. Oops. No, I want you to go up, and I want you to go over. I think we'll just run it along the top of the coal here. It's not the cleanest solution. It's a little spaghetti-like, but we're going to be only using this until it's gone. And then everything's going to be coming in by train, and it won't matter. These belts can get cleaned up. And we'll come this way for a bit. And yep, here sounds just fine. Oh, look at that. It's like I planned it that way. I didn't plan it that way. And lastly, we'll do our rubitite, which is located right next to the sapphirite. Annoyingly close to the sapphirite, to be perfectly honest. And I think we'll bring the sapphirite up through the middle here. Let's get ourselves 4 mining drills again. And just like with the sapphirite, we need to make sure down in the lower right-hand corner there that the only resource that this mining drill is going to pick up is sapphirite, because we don't want, or is rubitite. We don't want different ore types mixing on the same belt. So there's some power going to them. And we'll just run this stuff up. Right like so. Ooh, just missed that power pole. Awesome. And we'll go over that way. And there we go. We have all 4 basic ore types being sent to our processing facility. They're all being crushed. They're all being turned to stone. Our stone's all coming up here into this box. This box is going to fill up faster than I want it to, but that's fine. We'll upgrade it quite soon. And if it's too big of a deal, we'll just make another box and move the inserters to it. And, you know, it's fine. So here we go. We've got iron. We've got copper. We should have tin. Is it coming? Come on, tin. Yeah, here we go. And then lastly, we'll have our lead. Oh, there we go. Just coming. I have to say, I love the way the rubitite ore looks. It's so, I don't know, it's a very vibrant red to me. There we go. Just one more time. I just want to see the furnaces doing their job. Outputting onto the belt. Yeah, here we go. We've got some tin plate on a belt. You know, just a couple, but it's not zero. And our rubitite should be coming up this way any second now. And here it comes. Alright, well that's all the time we have for today, folks. I'd like to thank you so much for checking out my series. If you liked what you just watched, please remember to click that thumbs up button. It really helps me out. If you haven't already, subscribe to make sure you don't miss any new episodes. See you later.